Hey, what's going on, everybody? Jacob Matthias Owens here. I know it's been a bit, but I've been really busy. Had a lot of things on my mind. I was flipping through my Bible. I want to say last night, the night before last. Flipping through my Bible, and I stumbled across Ecclesiastes. Yeah, Ecclesiastes. And I gotta say, guys, I don't think I've ever actually read Ecclesiastes. I can pretty much say that I didn't even know it was a book of the Bible. You know, generally I stick to things like Matthew and Daniel and Isaiah and Colossians, things like that, and Corinthians. And I never really dug into this. And I gotta tell you guys, this is a fantastic book of the Bible. It's only 12 chapters long. It's a fairly easy read. I read it in, an hour. But it says, Ecclesiastes 1 says, "These are the words of the teacher, King David's son, who ruled in Jerusalem." And it's essentially a guide to life. It talks about how everything is meaningless. And pretty much every chapter ends with, like, chasing the wind. You know, we focus so much time on, it talks about getting rich. It talks about, trying to, have pleasure in life. It talks about the injustice of life. I'm just reading the top, top little portions, like, these little things up here. But it talks about the wise and the foolish, advantages of companionship, the futility of political power, approaching God with care, futility of wealth, wisdom for life, limits of human wisdom, obedience to the king, the wicked and the righteous, death comes to all. That was a big one in here. Basically telling you that that everyone dies. Everyone dies eventually, and that death is actually better than birth, because when you're born, you have nothing, but when you die, you can leave things, to your children, things like that. Leave money to your children, you can leave a legacy, but in the end, everything passes away like chasing the wind, because eventually no one will care. So basically it talks about all these things, and like almost everything that there is to deal with in life. The ironies of life, the uncertainties of life, thoughts on wisdom and folly. I gotta tell you guys, you gotta go through this. You gotta read Ecclesiastes. Just read the whole book. It's a pretty easy read, and it's really eye opening. Basically the gist of it at the end, Ecclesiastes 12:8-14. Says, concluding thoughts about the teacher. Everything is meaningless, says the teacher, completely meaningless. Keep in mind, the teacher that was considered wise, and he taught people everything he knew. He listened carefully to many proverbs, studying and classifying them. The teacher sought to find just the right words to express truths clearly. The words of the wise are like cattle prods, painful but helpful. Their collected sayings are like a nail-studded stick in which the shepherd drives the sheep. But my child, let me give you some further advice. Be careful, for writing books is endless. As much study wears you out. That's the whole story. Here is now my final conclusion. Fear God and obey His commands, for this is everyone's duty. God will judge us for everything we do, including every secret thing, whether good or bad. That's basically it. This is the only message I have, is that, I was just flipping through, found this book, and it's amazing. So I definitely encourage you guys to give it a read. It's very eye-opening, very inspiring. There's a lot of wisdom in this. One thing the Bible says, there are no idle words. So, every book in the Bible, even, Genesis, when they're talking about the son of who and the father of who and how long they lived, there are no idle words in the Bible. So everything is worth giving a look at, not just the good stuff that you want to get to, like Matthew and Isaiah and Daniel, Revelations, things like that. Psalms. So yeah, just have a look-see and, become encouraged and gain some wisdom. Alright guys, have a great night.